Hey, y'all. It's my ladies, your spirit shifter here, guiding you on your journey towards self-awareness. What's popping? Excuse my voice. I've been traveling, so this weather has been shifting. Yeah, I'm like a older person. And as soon as I have the wind blow, I like the wind blows just a little bit, and I'm wearing my hat and my scarf. As an Aries, we love hats. So yeah, I like the fall. All right, let's get to it. Let's talk about the solar eclipse in Libra that hasn't happened since October 3rd, 2005. All right. Prior to that, there were different type of nodes of fate when it comes to this Libra energy, as well as a lot of lunar Libra eclipse that were happening, but not necessarily a solar eclipse. So this is quite big, right? This talks about a complete reset for about 18 and 19 years involving these lunar Libra eclipse that happened in 2004 as well as 2010. And when the North Node and South Node were connected to Libra was between 2014 and 2016. So again, this is a lot of energy that has been cultivating in our subconscious mind and kind of building us in a sense of the way we build relationships. So let's talk about first and foremost what's going on with Galactic Hood Buddha, and giving thanks to everyone who's been quite supportive. It has been such an amazing journey, especially us giving ourselves back together from the summer and really wanting to be dedicated to loving ourselves first and then assisting others. And that does talk about doing some type of shifting in our daily habits. So shout out to everyone who has been coming to the 7 a.m. Lives, whether we're doing gratitudes or affirmation and askformations, we're there and we are doing quite well. I'm very excited about what everyone is asking and desiring to come forth into their life. So let's just go through this real quick. Go on YouTube and go see the introduction. We're doing the 21-day challenge of askformation and affirmation. You will know what's going on. You can start your day one, which was about our emotions. Our day two was about our physical. So these things that you desire to bring into your life, you can do that by completely sitting down and directing your mind to do so. And you could do that with us. You don't have to do it by yourself. This is not something that has to be boring or it is a challenge though. My bad. But it doesn't have to be boring, and it's not boring. And for day 3, which was today, we talked about the health. So go ahead and check that out so that you can be able to take control of your subconscious mind, because it's actively guiding you. And I also wanted to share how to look for me, right? When some people be asking me, what are your services? You can go to either solo to Galactic Hood Buddha, that's one way, or just go on Instagram. And this is something that I always update because it's the quickest way for me to get information out to you guys. And here you can find everything that you can think of when it comes to what we're doing, free things on YouTube, especially the challenges that are happening. And especially when it comes to astrology, there's a lot of information. This is Buy Me a Coffee, where you can go ahead and check out all the posts that I have. I'm always writing something, talking about something. Lots and lots of articles for you to look through. You can type in and see if it's there. If it's not there, suggest it, and I will definitely get to writing. These are some holistic things that you can do for yourself. Take time to take care of yourself, you know? It's really important. So with that being said, if you guys are interested in the astrology, every time I put up the astrology webinar, it will be here on Pensite. And I also have a couple of other things here. If you've never had Reiki before, you can go ahead and take an opportunity to see what's that for you. And for the most part, we shall begin with what's going on with this Libra energy. Amazing things are happening. I want you to, again, consider what area in your life are you feeling stuck. This is an indication. And if obviously, if it has to pertain into relationship, whether if you are in transition to your next relationship, aka single, or if you are in a marriage and feeling like you're stuck in the marriage, right? This is the time to create a reset for yourself. When the solar eclipse is happening, is basically putting a bright lamp over the dark area that needs to shift. And it's going to happen with an impact. And if this energy has already started for you, then yeah, we're talking to you. So remember, in astrology, we have the zodiac signs that are connected to the characteristics and the qualities of your life, right? Virgo, the quality of your life to analyze, to be able to be efficient, complete your day-to-day habits. Those are the characteristics. The planet is our experience that shapes our personality. So when we're talking about the sun, which is a star, we talk about your identity, your purpose was conscious. Whereas if you talk about Mercury, is your ability to speak. So your personality on your ability to speak, learn, communicate. And then the house represents basically that area of your life that's being in transition. Okay, so the fifth house could be about the area of your creativity. Consider love, you taking risk, is that Leo energy, right? That it puts you in a space of being expressive, bringing in that passion, talking about your identity and what you want to have as a security. You see what I mean? Okay, so what's going on? Let's talk about the Aries North Node, South Node energy. And I'm going to go ahead and put a spotlight on this. So here, you're going to see that Aries is at 24 degrees North Node. And when you come up across, you're going to see that horseshoe type of looking thing. That's the South Node. When it's down, south. When it's up, north. North, it indicates the area of where us as a society we're going, because this is happening to everyone. It started in July. And so south is what we're releasing. So when we're talking about that North Node in Aries, you got to think about, for the next 18 months, the main important thing for us to do is to consider our identity, our personality, as well as being self-aware, right? What are you ready to bring forth? What do you want to initiate? What are your actions? And for the next 18 months, you want to start considering that. Getting that energy of Mars, where you're able to then be assertive, to have the ability to take action. into your desires. So that's what's happening, right? So as that's shifting, we may not have been doing that for a very long time, and this is why it may feel a little bit difficult, because we have put people in front of us before, whether if it's being a caretaker, a mother, a significant other that we have like really poured all our love into and then didn't receive it back. A lot of us have been doing this for a very long time. And again, this is like that 18, 19-year energy. So we have now obviously grown from that energy, because back then many of us was very young. We was in our 20s. Other of us was in our 30s or 40s. Either way, you was younger than you are now. Let's just put it like that. And so with that being said, you've obviously outgrown all that energy, and you cannot continue to use that same energy where you're at right now, because you've obviously done some work on yourself. And if you haven't, then this is the time that you're noticing that. And that goes vice versa for anybody that's around you. So right now, a lot of people are really releasing an energy that they no longer want to work around with. All right. So Aries is bringing in that energy of being, like I expressed, assertive, direct, taking that passion and then also inspiring others to do the same. The main important thing right now is to be more creative with the way that we communicate, as well as pausing a little bit on the ability to be impatient or just not wanting to listen to other people. I know I am learning, and I enjoy people to tell me, so that I enjoy constructive criticism, so I can be able to shift this. And there has been events in my life currently that actually has put me in a space to, okay, if I'm a person that needs to improve the way I share my communications with, then so be it. But that does have to talk about me taking some time to figure out what that looks like. So it's important for you to also take constructive criticism at this time. Don't take anything personal. It is not about you. It's really about us being able to help each other out during this time. It is important for you to have a great emotional support system, because if you don't, things could get a little bit fiery. Okay, so the main try to stay away from being in that selfish mode, or again being aggressive. Aggressive and assertive are two different things. Remember that. So being pushy when there might be a wall can also cause friction. So remember that fire and that energy. And during this solar eclipse, we got Mars and Scorpio, and we're going to talk about that. So this is why we do have to be more in that Libra energy. And you can see how here we got that Libra. We got that Libra energy. There's a lot of Libra energy. So there's no need to really have heated discussions, because Aries doesn't have a lot of energy down here. So this is what I mean. Don't take it personal. The bottom half of the zodiac chart, it's personal. There's some things happening personal, but there's more things happening up here in the area of being in the collective, being able to take care of yourself, but also receiving the assistance to be able to get to move forward to the next step. All right. So that's the North Node. The South Node, when the South Node is in Libra right now for the next 18 months, what we're releasing, and why is this energy even more supportive, is we're releasing the ability to stop being in that superficial area, that manipulative area. That's that shadow side of Libra, right? Being on that codependency, right? Codependency, being dependent, like that's the area where, and we don't want to overgive, right? Or always having to be the person to fix the problem, or having to bring balance. Yes, we know that Libra is the balance and does bring justice, but at the same time, it's more of being in the area of, and I'm gonna say it because it's basic, but it's diplomatic, right? Being in the space of knowing that cooperation and harmony is needed in order for a relationship to move forward, when it comes to a business partner, when it comes to a client, For the most part, with the other energies that we see here, it is very important for us to know that it's still a solar eclipse. So while the North Node and the South Node is asking us to do this type of work, simultaneously occurring when you have the solar eclipse, which then talks about us being in a space of bringing in the question, what do you feel is unbalanced in your life? Do you see any type of relationship that is no longer kind of sparking up the energy? Do you feel like people are not allowing you to speak? Are you in a space of feeling like there's no connection anymore? What have we learned when it comes to the relationships we viewed when we grew up? And how is that playing out in our lives now? Does it look like it's going in a direction where everyone is considering each other's feelings and actions, or does it feel a bit unhealthy? If your body's always tensed when you're around somebody, or you always feel like you have to walk on eggshells, or if there's a possibility that you know there's going to be a blow up when you're going to be around someone, then that states a lot. So really consider the relationships that are happening, because if they're not meant to be around, it's going to happen with the solar eclipse. And if we don't want to let go of it, something's going to come up that's going to ask you to let go of it. If you hear this rumbling, it's my papers. All right. So if you are Aries, Scorpio, not a Scorpio, a Aries, a Capricorn, a Cancer, or who else? The cardinal signs. Look at that. It's just that it's a lot of information, y'all. Who we left out? Capricorn, Libra, of course, Cancer, and Aries. My bad, y'all. It's a lot. Y'all four, y'all getting it for sure. Because Pluto is in Capricorn. That energy is already activated, okay? Cancer, you riding the wave for sure. This is all about those who are in the space of initiating something grand. So you're going to be feeling it, whatever that is in your life that's calling you to move down that route is for us to open up space, whether if it hasn't been created or whether if it has been created and is for you to join somebody. This is the time to speak up, all right? This is the time to really step into your desires. If your body no longer can take the work that you're doing, then that's an indication for you to get out of it, all right? Let's begin to get into spaces where we love to work. Even if we want to work for other people, call in your desirable job, call in your desirable career. Not everybody's meant to be an entrepreneur. All right, so let's go, because I'm over here chatting mode. All right, so relationships are going to like the most highest level ever. Remember that there's going to be another eclipse happening this month in Taurus, and that also talks about that Venus is ruling this month. So relationship is on deck right now. It is fiery. I'm talking about connections, love connections like no other. But this talks about also being on the space of intentionally dating, intentionally leveling up the relationship that you are already in. All right. Some things can truly be recognized and also concealed, right? With a bit of therapy, a bit of communication. I believe at this current time, communication is the key. And if people can sit down and just do that without getting heated, things can get great. Like a lot of things could be resolved. All right. should anything be taken away from us during this time, if that's the way it feels, but it's being done for us so that we can elevate, don't go back to that. You know, this talks about us really learning how to detach from what was holding us back and beginning to open up to this new feeling of love, this new feeling of energy that we have never felt before. So it does feel scary to let go of something that feels familiar. But the South Node is already telling us that we're not even satisfied with what's happening in our lives. All right. So this talks about standing up for your values and being able to say to yourself, I am no longer going down that route. I want to be able to do something different for myself. And we're going to be receiving a lot of assistance because this new moon is going to be connected to other energies that's going to help us move forward. In the meantime, it will be in a space of having a quick battle with Pluto and Capricorn, but it really touches our subconscious mind. And when it touches our subconscious mind, it's saying to ourselves, release what may have felt like was something we shouldn't have done. If you have felt shameful or some type of guilt or regret when it came to something that you wanted to basically be connected with, a relationship, and it didn't work out, and it's just like, damn, people told me that that wasn't going to work out, or that job wasn't going to work out, and I didn't listen. Don't do that to yourself. All right, allow yourself to still be in a space of knowing that this was meant for you to really step into your power. Many of us hold degrees and certifications that we could be tapping into, and it might just be a better route, and we just never did it because we felt like, oh, I don't have the experience. Well, some way, somehow you have to get the experience. If you have even 2 hours out of the week to volunteer, I think that that would be even at a better space for many of us. All right. Also, Pluto is at its last stages in Capricorn, which means this energy is not gonna come back ever, right? So Pluto is also have been fucking shit up pretty much. And you guys already know what's happening in the outer world with Pluto going direct in Capricorn, what's happening in the world and things like that. That's the type of energy that Pluto has an effect on us. So with that being said, imagine the internal you, how things are shifting, how you may be feeling lost, you don't know what's going on, you feel like, especially again, Capricorn is about that material. So a lot of us are in a space of feeling like we're materially not being able to connect with money, and that this is what this is, because there's a different way to connect with money, and it's time for you to utilize that. Many of us know how to connect with money besides being connected to a job or things like that. This was said to me once, and I'm going to say it again. When it comes to your abundance, recognize it. That's what you are feeling in the inside. I share this a lot because it's something that I've been learning and had to learn different ways of seeing how abundance can show up. And it shows up the minute that you are in alignment and you are in a space of knowing that it exists for you, even when it's the most scariest times. Pluto is going to be really putting us in a space of asking ourselves, can you really allow yourself to thrive instead of feeling like you need to survive? All right. So what are we talking about next? We're talking about Mars. All right. So here you have Mars is in Scorpio. So when Mars is in Scorpio, we really gotta pay attention with this sexual energy because it is high. When Mars is in Scorpio, it really does talk about, let's date, let's do some kinky stuff, let's, yeah, like, hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, I'm sorry. My father was trying to call me. I'm gonna call him right back. All right, so when Mars is in Scorpio, we have to pay attention to the way that we bring boundaries to the way we're passionate. So again, that talks about that sexual energy. What is the boundaries there? Because our emotions are going to be really, really high and things can get heated. And that's going to be happening to us for a while. So really pay attention to that energy that's happening for you. Because Mars ran through Libra real quick. Y'all seen how I went into Scorpio because it was like, okay, Libra, nah, we're not doing that. Mars thrives in Scorpio. It's its old ruler. Okay, so or his new ruler, because Scorpio on Pluto, yeah, it's his old ruler. Pardon me. So the real thing about this Mars in Scorpio is to find a way to release this energy in the most productive way. What does that look like? And being able to take control of your emotions, right? This is really working with the sacral chakra. All right. But at the same time, our emotions are really in the space of almost feeling wounded and hurt. So when this solar eclipse is happening, you're going to have Scorpio having a nice trine, which is a good aspect with Saturn in Pisces, all right? And then it's also going to be combined with Venus and Virgo. So what does that talk about? Although Mars is hot and spicy, it's still being supported by Saturn, which is our grandfather, giving us that energy of saying, okay, you don't have to go hard. Take a chill pill. All right. Organize the way you're gonna do things, because you can be in a space of low vibrational energy where you may be wanting to be in a space of being more revengeful than actually getting things done that doesn't involve you not being emotionally in the intelligent space of moving in the direction that's going to bring things into fruition for you. When Mars is in Scorpio, there's a lot of manipulation games that can happen. Like, the honest truth is, Scorpio is that energy that knows exactly how to play the game of manipulation. I'm going to be straight up with you because guess what? My mom's was a Scorpio. Okay. Scorpio has that vindictive energy, that inability to want to shift how things happen. Remember that Scorpio is a fixed sign. So it does not mean that Scorpio does not have powerful aspects, because hello, we wouldn't, a lot of us wouldn't know a lot of good esoteric stuff without that Scorpio energy, to be honest with you. So Scorpio's ruled by Pluto, so immediately that's transformative things that are happening for us. So then Saturn is like, all right, things are going to be transforming, but take it easy. Review it, because Saturn is in reverse. Yeah, it's in retrograde. So review everything that you're going to be doing. Be smart about it. Don't try to manipulate yourself into any energy, because it's going to get back. People are going to see it. The sun is going to be exposing it. People are going to see it. So you might as well just take the route of figuring out how you're going to speak to anyone that you need to speak to balance out the energy of the relationship. How are you going to share your passions with people without emotionally feeling like everybody has to agree with the things that you're saying? Here it talks about for you to take a higher route on the way you approach. And Mars is going to get that assistance from Scorpio. I mean, the assistance from Venus and Virgo. Venus, I don't want to say it doesn't like really being in Virgo, but it's a bit rigid. You know what I mean? With Virgo, it's like, what are we doing day to day? How are we doing this? And Venus is like, okay, no problem. I can see how we could do this. But can we relax a little bit? And Venus is like, Virgo is like, okay, so this is how we're going to approach it. This is how. So there's strategic ways right now on how to have meetings with people when it comes to business, strategic ways on how to communicate with people. But it talks about not rushing into things. So again, really get into the fact that this is not a power game to try to get your partner to marry you, okay? Because it's Libra season and this is the time to get married, all right? This is not the time to be sitting there and having deep arguments with people or disputes about morals and ethics when right now we're all in a space of not even understanding our own shit. So stop trying to argue about other shit, you know? Get into yourself, and whoever is like-minded and can be emotionally supportive, go that route. Let's make it less stressful for ourselves and others, because you could be the problem, they could be the problem, it could be the problem. We don't got time to be pointing fingers. We're in a space of growth, all right? So the other aspect that I want to share, of course, is the solar eclipse. They're calling it the ring of fire. And what that talks about is when, and this doesn't happen often, when the moon, it shows up smaller in the sky. And as it shows up smaller in the sky, you can barely see it. And so what it means is that you may not necessarily feel the major effects of this solar eclipse immediately, because it's going to be more on the shadow side. It's going to take about 6 months to 2 years for you to really see what's going to be the effects of this this solar eclipse, because there's that lunar eclipse that's coming up too, where we're releasing. We're going to talk about that too. The main important thing here is to really know that things are changing, relationships are changing, you are changing, and you should not be in a space of holding back on how you want to experience these next couple of fucking years, all right? Because what has been happening in the past may not have been working. If it has been working, then you know what time it is to level it up, add some more spice into your relationship, add some more events in your friendships, add some more meetups with your family members, all right? This talks about really getting back together from that energy that we were not able to do so when 2020 was here in 2021 and even 2022. We're getting back into that energy. What does it feel like to hug each other again? I've been hugging people and people's like, oh, you gave good hugs. And I'm in my mind, I'm like, I really do feel like people need to get more hugs, because I'm a stranger and you're telling me that I give a good hug. When was the last time y'all got a good hug? You know? Like, come on. So there is going to be a lot of other things that's going to be happening that may be a bit supernatural, especially when it comes to seeing different stars and more asteroids being shown up for astrology, as well as more discoveries with the planets. This is just going to be a lot. The next time there's going to be a Libra solar eclipse is going to be in 2039. 2039, okay? So there goes that energy again of that 18, 19 years energy, all right? And ask yourself, what is it that I really want to see come into fruition? And it's not going to be quite easy as we release, but that didn't say that we could stop manifesting. No, that does not mean that. What it means is that we really have to believe in ourselves to know that what we're seeing right now can be shifted, just like we seen it happen 10 years ago. If you're in a space that you were 10 years ago, then this is the indication to change. But if you change in the last 10 years, that means that there's more involvement inside of you. Get to it, you got this. All right. And then the last thing, one of the last things, I believe that we're going to be talking about is Mercury. Mercury is also going to be, you can see Mercury right here is right next to that lunar energy as well as that solar energy. Everybody's in that energy together. All right. Palace Athena's there too. Oh shit. Palace is there. Okay, so Mercury is communicating with the sun with the solar eclipse. So your mind is connected to the sun. Your mind is connected to your emotions. All right. And it's at 17 degrees. It is said that 17 degrees is the degree of fame. And so if you have 17 degrees in your chart, that does talk about fame. So take that into consideration. If you do, especially if you have any energies in Libra at this time. Anybody who has any placements in Libra at this time is having some type of shift, okay? Again, in that cardinal sign, Libra, Capricorn, Aries, and Cancer, all right? So Mercury is really letting us know what needs to change. A lot of people, like I said before, there's going to be a lot of comparing, people not being heard, a lot of projection, and it's really what matters to you, right? What do you feel like you deserve in a relationship right now? Not how things were in the past. What do you feel like you deserve in a relationship, in a friendship, in a companionship? In the past, you may not have needed that, but now you do. Or maybe you may not have wanted it, and now you discover that you do, and maybe you don't want it anymore, and it's okay. But let's talk about it. And some people may not be wanting to talk about it. Mercury is going to be opposing Chiron and Aries. And again, there goes that Aries energy. Chiron is the wounded healer who's been healing our ego since 2016, if I'm not mistaken. So that means that, again, that fight of, I don't need no help, I'll do this all by myself, leave me alone. And the energy is not for that. Right now is the energy to come together. All right. Venus is going to go ahead and give us that slap in the face, because Venus is in Virgo. Virgo is more about like, okay, what are we doing? How can we make it better? Yes, we're going to be in our emotions in a sense, but how can we move past it? Let's use this day to day, bit by bit, daily habits to be able to get where we need to go. Do we need to move into a space of where we get a physical therapist for any type of pain that we may have, so like we can now begin to exercise? Are we going to be in the space of wanting to go to therapy so that we can be able to then declutter our mental mind and let the therapist deal with that, and then you can go and have fun with your friends and family and not have to do any trauma bonding or dumping any type of energy on anybody. Right now, we have to reconsider who we're speaking to. Do we have to really tell our friends everything, especially when it comes to these hard emotional imbalances that we have? This is why we have professionals, right? You may have friends that aren't professionals as well, but why would you want to use a time when you want to chill with your friends to be on a professional shift? For that, you go to where you can and feel comfortable to receive assistance. So what does that look like for you? Because Venus is going to give us that, like I said, that kick in the ass. Like, what are you doing? Let's get it together. Bring some awareness into what we're doing on a day-to-day. What are you doing in the present moment to make things better for yourself? Who are you asking for assistance with? For assistance with? Who are you asking assistance from? All right. So this is an energy that's going to be in your face, and you may be like trying to do other things to move away from it, from its reality. But it really is an energy that's going to be saying, let's shift this now. Let's move away from this. Let's get this out the way because there's more coming up. We're in 2023. There's a lot of this energy moving forward in 2024. And it really is a matter of, are you ready? Are you ready? The reality is that many of us have been longing for a thriving life, you know? And that doesn't talk about, oh, you're being vain or listen, what the fuck do you feel like you deserve? Do you deserve to have a fucking green juice every day looking out a window that looks like you're in paradise? If that's what you feel like you deserve at this current time, why not begin to create that for yourself? All right. The other energy that's going to be happening is that Jupiter and Uranus energy. All of that energy is also going to be in effect. So really talk to yourself about what has been brought into your life that feels like you can stabilize it. That was brand new, that was unexpected, but that it helped you expand the way you see your day-to-day life, the way you see yourself bringing money. Did you learn something that can expand you and say to yourself, okay, it was not the traditional way that I'm doing it, because Uranus is about something that's not traditional, but it looks like I can receive some abundance from that route. Try that out. This is the moment for you to figure it out and be around like-minded people with that Libra energy. Most times with that Libra energy, it's really easy to make friends, right? But it's also that Mars and Scorpio, you got to be a little bit, on your P's and Q's on what this type of friendship can be, because there is some a cost when it comes to these type of friendships. And I'm not gonna say that Scorpio is like, you're gonna be my friend forever, but that energy of Scorpio is, we're gonna be friends for a long time. So that's also with love and with work. So we're stabilizing our relationships at this current time, and this is just the beginning of it. So again, this is why we don't have to be so impulsive on making new friends, but we do have the privilege to allow ourselves to join different groups that we've never been into. Somebody suggested the other day for me to do somatic dance. Never been to that before, but that doesn't hurt for me to try it if it looks like it's going to be a way to heal, or there's different things out there for us to try out. Don't stay stuck. This is the time for you to initiate some type of action when it comes to what you desire and when you want to bring it to fruition. Allow yourself to be socially and mentally stimulated, as well as bringing in the emotions. There's a lot of love happening here, but it's only if you allow yourself to open up to the love. What are you going to say to yourself that's going to reprogram yourself to say, I deserve this? Honestly, how long do you have to wait? Till the kids get older? Till you get more money? Till the time is right? How long are we going to use those words? What about living in the present moment? Knowing that the reality can be shifted, even though in the current moment it seems like a beautiful mess or a chaotic moment that can be shifted with the mindset. A bit of breathing, a bit of meditation goes a long way. It's all about bringing control back into your life. Many of us are in a space where we had desire to be 10 years ago, and now we're creating again to desire somewhere to be in the next 10 years. You was in this space before and you got out of it and you brought into your life what you wanted. Let's do it again. What you deserve. All right, I'm off this. I love you. And Let me know in the comments, where are your placements? If you have any cardinal sign placements, any Aries, any Cancer, any Libra, any Capricorn. I literally have 2 out of 3. All right. I love y'all. Peace. Take care.